Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Prescott off play action. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. It's Deonte Banks with it. And the Giants will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And out of bounds right around the 20. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Wilson. Throw left side taken in by Slayton. And he will have a Giants first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the lace.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton from 6 yards away. And the Giants take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their second possession.
And I do like that word that you just used, reset, right? In a lot of ways, it's just shaking off what happened before, starting fresh, almost like it's your first drive all over again. Go out and put your best foot forward.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of the game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And some room to work. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Play action. Now Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, they've been fighting and scratching and clawing for that first sack in the game, and it turns out to be a big one. Not just a short one right there behind the line. First one they get, 10-plus yards on a guy who has the legs to escape most of these.
On the run is Tracy. Oh, good move. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Wilson. That went behind his man, incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On fourth down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know, and most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with, and there's a completion right there.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing, Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Here's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Play action now. Prescott. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He'll drop this down to Williams, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Williams diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And New York set to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 7-7, our score after 1. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. He's got Slayton on the slant. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action with Wilson. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
This 2nd and 4. They'll hand it to Tracy. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Right back to Tracy. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went ahead and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action. It's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Throwing is Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
To throw again is Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
To throw is Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. How did he stay on his feet? And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Dallas offense set for this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Now 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go with Blue between the tackles. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Looking to throw. Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Prescott. That escapes the sack. That's to the pylon and incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And his kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Here's Wilson. That's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Quickly into the hands of Neighbors off the RPO. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
On the give, it's Tracy, and he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. Now Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Micah Parsons able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott now. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now it's Wilson. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. Now Wilson. That is caught. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Giants will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing, Prescott. Got an open man, it's Pickens. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Finding Pickens for another catch. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Prescott. It's Williams on the catch. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is absolutely perfect. Well, not too long ago, Charles, that would have been a new NFL record. But instead, it's shy of setting the record, which is 66, but still from 65 away, one of the longest kicks in league history.
And that puts him in elite company in the NFL. Only a few have ever even attempted that, let alone put it through the posts. How about his moment? It came together for him, and he delivered.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And able to get this out to the 25. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Now he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tracy to the 43, second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. They go play action now. Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 37. A gain there of 21 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Wilson. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now Wilson running left on the option. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
On the ground, here comes Tracy. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 98 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll go again with Tracy. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Gano for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That one goes for 8 yards.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb. 60 yards. And the Cowboys are back within a score. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. DeMarvion Overshown, the one to bring him down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A throw right side caught by Neighbors. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. Now a give, right side. Tracy, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They begin with a carry for Blue. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. See the athleticism there of Brian Burns stopping him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front, the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 1st down, it's Blue. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Paulson Adebo up to make the stop.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
The Cowboys on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Lamb will go in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
That is caught by Lamb. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. They'll run up the middle here with Blue, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Prescott now. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jake Ferguson, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Johnson was the intended receiver, and now it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he will go down, a Cowboys sack. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing just outside his own goal line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now Prescott. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Targets Lamb on the comebacker. Pass is complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 18 more yards there and another first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Toss play to the right to Blue. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
2nd and 5 from the 8. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing, Prescott. Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add to their 4th quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out come the Giants. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Play action. It's Wilson. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Wilson. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Pickens on the slant. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's 3rd and 10. They'll try and run again with blue. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and that should be that. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. Second and 11 at the 41. On to give. This is Blue.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.